A few days ago, I posted on the Book of Face a very thoughtful, a very poignant message that simply read something along the lines of realtors are the new MLM. And if you're not familiar, MLM is multi-level marketing, where a lot of folks who have large networks are able to get people to buy products from them. And realtors are individuals who sell homes, basically, right? And I made a message, like I said, that realtors are the new MLM. And people came out of the woodworks sharing their disappointment in my post. People came out of the woodworks to share their thoughts on why I was wrong. And, anything without a lot of context, which that post had, leaves a lot of holes for me to come on and tell my side of the story. So, some people were like, what, did you have a bad experience with the realtor? Is that why you're saying this? I thought it was really interesting that realtors did not want to be associated with those in MLM. I'm not here to bash either of those. If that's a career that you can make a life out of, then absolutely go do it. I could care less what you do from a business perspective. I don't care what type of business career you choose. I want you to be happy in it. But here's why I made the post that realtors are the new MLM. Now, you've probably been right here on the Book of Face and seen, or on YouTube or Twitter, and you see these individuals who are selling products, and it's a specific type of product. I don't know the brands, right? Again, I'm not bashing that people use this as a career, okay? But what you'll see is they have a script, and they follow this script to almost to the point where they're reading off of the screen this thing. It's usually really monotone, and I want to let you guys know that we're here to this. And what you realize is that these individuals, their marketing is the same thing over and over. So then when you do see them again, it's the same post over and over. What you might recognize is that a lot of individuals, businesses that are selling real estate are doing the exact same strategy. And what you see is the same thing over and over again. I'm buying a house. I'm selling a house. I'm buying a product. I want you to be on my team. When instead, I believe that the reason you are not achieving the success that you want is because you're going for the kill on the first date. You're going for the win before you create value, before you create that relationship. And instead, what I believe that you should be doing is to be creating an absolutely ridiculous amount of value, create friendships with people forever, so then at a later time, when they're ready to buy from you, then you go in for the kill and make it. Right? I get it. We all have to make money. We all have careers doing this. But my guess is that what you're actually doing by getting on here and posting very similar things to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, is that you're getting put into this bucket of, well, I don't want to see those posts. And so what happens is you get discouraged because your sales numbers are down, because you're basically saying, hey, buy my thing all the time, instead of creating value, providing educational information to people, doing something different, right? I want you to think about the last time you got a cold sales call, the last time you were pitched to, the last time someone knocked on your door trying to sell you a humidifier, a security system, or whatever it was, right? The internet company that calls and says, buy my thing. And you weren't in the mode to be sold that. How did you feel? You felt like crap. You were pissed off, and then you didn't want to deal with that business. So why would you then take that exact scenario and do it yourself to your friends or followers? So many people are literally just posting, buy this product, oh, I have an open house of this house. And it's literally all they post. Or, oh, then we sold it. I want you guys to know that we then sold it. Like, we get it. That's what you do for a living, right? But provide a ridiculous amount of help for people. So create relationships, friendships with people. People are like, you actually create friends with these people? Yeah. Here's a data point. I'm going to give you 2 data points that are pretty convincing to me. It takes 5 to 7 positive interactions to get someone from a visitor to a customer. It takes a minimum of 6 times for that person to even see you for the first time, right? So this might be the first time you're ever seeing me. Hi, I'm Zack Miller. Thanks for watching, right? But I might have been in your feeds many times before, but for some reason you stopped this time. Maybe it's because I'm growing a beard that looks like Santa. I got to dye it white. Whatever it is. But then here's this crazy other statistic that I think is absolutely ridiculous. I was talking to Erica from Mad Skills, and I asked her, because she has a staffing business basically, what is the turnover of employees? And it's something like every 3.5 years, someone is changing a job. So if you look at that at 42 months basically, right? 3 years is 36 months plus 6. That would be 42. So roughly every 42 months, people are making a career change. Let's say you go to a networking event. Let's say that you're trying to find that person and you're finding them at month 41 of 42 on that whole career change. And what do? You try to sell them immediately instead of building that relationship. Here's what happens though. They don't like what you're selling. They don't like you because you are being that, let's call it that used car salesman person, right? That you don't like. That internet, the internet connection salesperson that you don't want to deal with. And what happens? You get a bad taste in your mouth. Again, I get it. We have to make money. We have to make sales. But you don't have to do it at the first second that you meet someone. So at month 41 of 42, you're trying to sell them when guess what? They're moving on careers the very next month. So instead of creating lifelong friendships, relationships with people, you've lost your freaking chance because you went for that cold so freaking quickly. But instead, what could you do? My favorite thing, and by the way, I do this all the time. I went to 2 networking events last night, and people come up, oh, what do you do? I stole this from Chad Stenzel. He was on a previous episode. I say as little as possible. Thanks for letting me steal that, Chad. But I say as little as possible. I don't want to talk about work at all, right? I work all day. I absolutely love what I do for a living. And I'm sure that you love what you do for a living too. But why don't you find something that that individual that you're going to talk with loves as well? My favorite thing right now, and has been for a while, what are you watching on Netflix? People say, really? That's what you ask them? Yeah, because here's what you ask. Hey, what do you do? And then I have to go into my elevator pitch, which most people don't have down. But you know what you watched on Netflix recently? Why don't watch Netflix? Oh, do you read? Do you listen to podcasts? Oh, you have Hulu? What was the last thing you watched on YouTube? Do you have a vacation coming up? See how the same kind of question can really get into understanding what someone does? Now, if you're like the majority of people, you binge watch things on Netflix and then you want to talk about it. So now you can be that person to have a relationship with about their Netflix. Then every time you want to talk to that person, what do? You can talk to them about that. And guess what, folks? You do business with your friends, right? People want to pay people that they like. They don't want to pay people that they can't stand. And if people love the relationships that they're getting out of you, why wouldn't you want to do more of this? And so as I sit here and I try to explain to you why I think that people are struggling with their marketing because they're copying others, they're doing the copycat method, which is like, well, I saw this person do it, so I should do it. It's not a good strategy. Instead, create relationships, find a tremendous amount of value to provide, learn what really makes them tick in a positive way, what makes them excited, and then provide it to them. Go to the DMs, one-on-one messages, call them. Figure out what's really going on in their life. Not some mass blanketed post that's like, oh, buy my thing. I get it. We all do that. We all sprinkle that a little bit in there. We all have to do that. Let people know what we actually do. But if every single freaking post that you do is about buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, what do you expect to have happen? Unsubscribe, unfollow, no likes, hate this, yada, 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 yada. And so, instead of going for these quick wins, instead of going for this quick stuff that doesn't work, create relationships, lifelong friendships. Think long game. And then, when the time is right, that you've learned that you can actually help them, then, and maybe then only, should you go in. But just because you see someone who has a similar career to you posting a similar post does not mean that you should, in fact, post that yourself. Imagine going to Chick-fil-A. You say, thank you. They say, my pleasure. Super duper, right? Then you go to McDonald's and they say, my pleasure, after you say thank you. How do you feel then? Scenario changed. Mission abort. Never said that. That was fun. My point is this. If you want to stand out, if you want to be different, if you want different reactions, if you want to see more success, what you have to do, as I'm talking like a robot now, is do things different. Provide value to people. Right? Find your targets. Create a relationship with them. Just say, hey, provide them value. Figure out what they love. See if they have a pain point. And if that pain point is what you do, provide it to them. If not, find someone who can. You're not going to get business out of everyone that you meet. But you can create a crap ton of relationships if you do. And my friends, I believe that is life 101. So there you have it. For those of you who were discouraged by my thoughts on realtors being the new MLM, sorry if you didn't like it. But I'd be willing to bet that many of you are doing this exact strategy that I'm talking about. Many of you are seeing lackluster results because this is what you're doing. And instead of doing the hard work, you're doing simple work, seeing limited results, maybe short-term results, and want more. So stop playing copycat. Stop doing what others are doing. Instead, stand out. Be freaking different. If all you do is post the same thing over and over again, I promise you, you will get the same results over and over and over and over again. Now, maybe there's a playbook that you're following. Maybe that playbook's wrong. Your social strategy, your strategy to get better results is creating relationships. That's it. If you aren't authentic and all you do is post buy my thing, the result you will get is not having someone buy that thing. Create relationships, find that value, and make things freaking happen. Disagree with me? Hit me up in the comments. My guess, all of you haters out there are actually on board with what I said. So stop selling every second to the world because the world doesn't want to see it. Instead, create a crap ton of value. Zack Miller here, but not anymore because I'm out. Peace!